Hello, welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel. Well, you can already tell by the title of this video where this is going, but allow me a little bit of leeway as we get there, please. Well, the LA Times reports that the statue of Junipero Serra statue was toppled in Los Angeles a couple of days ago. If you're not familiar with him, though he wasn't tall, he was the bigwig for the California missions. And so he's gone. Who else is gone? Well, that was LA. Now, let's take a look at San Francisco here. In San Francisco, the Black Lives Matter protesters went after Ulysses S. Grant statue. You do know that Ulysses S. Grant was the general who won the Civil War for the North so that the black people could be free and the Union could remain the Union, and that he was vehemently against slavery. Oh, but he had a slave. Well, that's because his wife's family was really pro-slavery, and so they gave him one, and he took what teeny little amount of money he had, and he bought his slave out of slavedom. Is that what it's called? Out of slavery. He also worked very diligently to stop the Triple K Club. But no, his statue had to come down, just like Junipero Serra's did. And that wasn't the end of it. No, the protesters, those lovely Black Lives Matter people, you know Black Lives Matter, right? They're the ones that say agree with us or die, agree with us or be canceled, die financially. Protesters have torn down several statues across the country in the wake of you-know-who's death. An unarmed black man who, where's it at? Where did it go? I know who it is, I'm just trying to see where they put it. It was the Francis Scott Keys. And Francis Scott, there it is. It's in the paragraph right above it. The others include a statue of Junipero Serra, and this is in San Francisco, so they tore him down up there too. It's because he's at every single mission and a bunch of other places in California. Mission was declared St. Catholic Church, San Francisco, and Francis Scott Keys, the author of the lyrics to the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, he didn't write the music. That's a French bar song. Yeah, so they tore him down. So in the land of the free, the home of the brave, they recognize what we've been saying, which is, no, that's Sweden, the country that didn't lock down. Teddy Roosevelt is going to be removed. Now, very important distinction here. Teddy Roosevelt's statue is going to be removed, not torn down. They're actually doing that through a legitimate process. There's no voting going on, but at least the Natural History Museum board decided it. It wasn't taken down with ropes and everything like that, but it is going to make Night at the Museum a very warped movie. And so in referring to Black Lives Matter, everybody points out who has the courage. We're all living in that episode of The Twilight Zone with the little kid who says, "You better say what I say or I'm gonna put you in the cornfield." And that one guy is like, "If we all get together at one time, we can stop him." And of course the whole moral of The Twilight Zone is, nah, people will always let you down, and he lands up in the cornfield. So there you go. And it was interesting to see Tucker Carlson on Friday, the lone dissenter against all of the mania that's happening in the country. He's like, where are the Republicans to stand up for you? Where are they? And I'm like, I don't know. And yeah. Anyways, so Black Lives Matter. Do they? Or do they only matter when they're killed by white cops? And again, that's, those who don't mind landing up in the cornfield totally already know this. The only times Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter is when they're killed by white cops. For example, have you heard them mention at all any of the deaths in Chicago ever? But most recently over Father's Day. I hate this story so much. I read part of it and I'm like, I'm not reading this whole thing. I don't need this in my brain. 12 minors among the 104 shot, 14 fatally, as citywide gun violence spikes over Father's Day weekend, because nothing says Father's Day like Chicago. This is the part that's like, okay, I'm going to read this to you and then I'm moving on. I'm not going to do it for you if I ain't going to do it for me. A toddler and 4 teenagers were among those shot to death between Friday evening and Monday morning. Yeah, that toddler was 3. Where's Black Lives Matter? Oh, that's right. They're busy tearing down all the statues. Alright, now, like a good concert or a good boxing match, you start with the opening act of Juniper Serrero and you build up to the main event. You guessed it. All those churches that have been spending all this time kissing BLM's booty the last 3 weeks, or 4, well, guess what? Turns out Jesus needs canceled too. Sean King says the image is a form of white supremacy that must go. It's good to know Jews are white now. And they should all come down. And if they have their way, they will. Sean King said Monday, it's time for anything resembling white Jesus to be expunged from the public square. The staunch Black Lives Matter activist made the comments as online activists continued to debate which statues and monuments were culturally unacceptable in 2020. Well, so far everything except for the communist ones are coming down. Washington came down, Jefferson's come down, Matthias, what's his name? Forgive me, the anti-slavery abolitionist, people that never seen the movie Glory or know the history of the fight in 52, that statue came down. It's like, guys, they're leaving the communist ones. That's kind of a clue for what they're really up to, okay? Pay attention. And if you think that they think Black Lives Matter, then where are they for that little 3-year-old and the teenagers and all the other people that were wasted in the Father's Day celebration with bullets? Yep. So, there you go. Once again, all the churches that have been preaching how lovely Black Lives Matter is and how important it is that we listen to them because their message is so important. You really should consider looking at the Black Lives Matter, What We Believe page on their About section, churches, and maybe you can have a conversation with them when they come to your church to tear down the statue of Jesus. And then after they do the statue of Jesus, then they'll come for the cross. And then after they come for the cross, it doesn't matter. They're going to take whatever they want because no one is stopping them. But rumor has it the Summer of Love in Seattle is going to end after 3 people have been shot in the last few days. That was short-lived Summer of Love. Who's seen that coming? Oh, yeah, that's right. Everybody but the far-left wackos that want to get rid of the cops. Oh, my. And with that, we say, we'll see you in the future. You know, the one that has no statues except for the communist.